A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yep, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
To soccer on the SDH Network. Tonight here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium, it is Inter Miami CF2 visiting. It is the second time that these two teams have met since May the 7th. We'll go over what happened last time and get you ready for what we anticipate tonight here in the Eastern Conference in Kennesaw. Coming into the action tonight, Atlanta United 2 at 4-4-3 in the Eastern Conference, coming in at 16 points. Inter Miami coming in with a record of 3-7-1, trying to avoid a fifth straight MLS Next Pro defeat, coming in tonight after the two losses that they had in the last 7 days. We'll get you to that coming up in just a little bit. Kickoff slated for about 7:35 here with the weather that we have had in the area. So how did these two teams get to this particular moment in time when we talk about these two teams? Very, very busy time in the last 7 days for Atlanta United 2 and for Inter Miami. And it was a pretty rough week for the visitors as they come in. 2 1-0 losses. First one was a rivalry matchup against Orlando City B, scoreless after the first 45 minutes. Then the one goal of the match, and it came from the visitors and Jack Lynn.
Ball Velcro to his foot anytime he's had an opportunity to dribble through the midfield. His service has left a little to be desired tonight. Supplying it out of the midfield, but on the dribble, he's been terrific. Now Freeman to Lynn, just like that. You never know when he'll strike, but oftentimes he does. It's a 1-0 lead for Orlando. Honors last year. Mentioned it toward the tail end of that first half. He does such a good job of staying disciplined, not dropping deep into the midfield.
1-0 loss on Thursday, and you compound that with the action that happened on the weekend the second time around. And Inter Miami had to travel all the way to Foxborough to take on New England Revolution 2. The home side getting their marker, the only one that they would have in the match in the 8th minute, Pierre Caillet.
3-game regulation winning streak for the Revs. Had to battle back last week against Philadelphia, winning it in stoppage time. 4-3 thriller. Free kick sent in, back post, and it's in! The center back, Pierre Caillet, unmarked, heads it across frame, far post, and he has his second of the season. As I mentioned before, for all the goals they've scored this year, among the league leaders, all their big guns not in the starting 11, missing 19 of their 26 goals.
Third 1-0 loss in a row for Inter Miami gets them to Kennesaw tonight to take on Atlanta United 2. Last time Atlanta United 2 was on the SDH Network, it was a match against Toronto FC 2. It would take a little while for the first goal to get on the board, but Atlanta United 2 would get a little help in the 29th minute from Luca Gavron.
Vicente Reyes slows everything down. Morales up the left side to Adeniyi. Into the middle third. Centeno to Tiente. Tiente back to Centeno. Centeno wants to break. Wants to get out on the dribble. Has Firmino there in the center circle. Spins it over to the right side of McFadden. Now Luke Brennan. McFadden with the overlap. Aiden McFadden into the attacking third. Cross. Back post. Gavron knocks it down into his own goal. Goal, goal, goal. Atlanta United 2. The work down the right side. Luke Brennan and Aiden McFadden create the cross that Luca Gavron can't handle. Goal Atlanta.
Atlanta United 2 would take the 1-0 lead into the break. 4 minutes into the second half, Kareem Tamimi would continue his hot play of the last 6 weeks. Once again, Jason Longshore on the call here on the SDH Network.
Out wide to the left to Eric Centeno. Down the line to Fuad Adeniyi. Adeniyi takes it to the inline cross. Shot, Tamimi, goal! 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 Kareem Tamimi! Goal number 5 of the year for the former Georgia Gwinnett Grizzly. First assist of the year for Fuad Adeniyi, and Atlanta United 2 takes the 2-0 lead early in the second half.
2-0 win for Atlanta United 2 last time out, and that gets us to tonight. Your availability report presented by our friends at Piedmont Healthcare. It is Justin Garces out with the recovery from the ACL, Emenike out with the knee injury, Jonathan Vial out with a foot injury, Tyler Young still out with the hamstring, and we add to that Fuad Adeniyi with the knee injury. He'll be out for the foreseeable future here for Steve Cook and Atlanta United 2. Now it's time to bring in Jarrett Smith as we look at our starting 11s. Starting off with the home side, Jarrett, when you look at what you're seeing with Atlanta United 2 coming into tonight, what do you see with the starting 11?
Looking like a team that we're pretty familiar at this point with what we're seeing. It's Vicente Reyes in goal. It's Kareem Tamimi up top. It's in between where you're seeing slight changes. You're seeing Sean Lanza get more and more time at outside back. Young kid out of the academy trying to earn those minutes. And we've seen him get more and more minutes, I think getting more and more comfortable. And you're looking for that moment, I think, a lot of times where a guy goes from trying to survive the game to trying to impact the game. He's not treading water anymore. He's trying to actually make a difference in the game. Nelson Orji sliding it outside back as well this evening. A guy who really likes to defend. He likes to make you miserable, and he's going to get a different task tonight because he's going to have opportunity to get forward. And how disciplined can he be in that role? And how much can he impact the game on the offensive side versus sitting back, depending on what the game gives you, because we know goals change games. The rest of it looks about what you expect. Tony Tiente, Kofi Twomasi in there as well. Eric Centeno's been coming on strong. Luke Brennan as well. But again, you mentioned it already. Kareem Tamimi has just been a problem. Leads the team in 5 goals. Nick Firmino also sitting with 5. Firmino also has 2 assists to go along with it. But it seems like Kareem Tamimi really has started to put things together, and this team becomes a very big problem if that continues to be the case. And then, of course, you have weapons off the bench. A guy who we wouldn't think is a weapon showing up in the number 85 sure is Ozzie Alonso. And this is a big opportunity for Ozzie Alonso. Not to say, like, when we say big opportunity, not like he's an academy kid, but it's been about 14 months since he had his knee injury. It's the first time Ozzie Alonso's had an opportunity. We're hoping he gets it tonight to get in the game and get live action at full speed. So a very fun opportunity for him and a very fun opportunity for these kids to play with a guy like that who is going to go down in the history books in Major League Soccer as one of the best midfielders, one of the best holding midfielders to ever play.
Thank you, Jarrett. We'll catch up with Jarrett and Jason on the call coming up here in short order in just a little bit. Your starting lineup for Inter Miami. In net, it's going to be Owen Finnerty tonight wearing number 88. At the back, it is Cesar Abadia, Farid Sarsar, Tyler Hall, the rest of the rundown, Israel Boatwright, Lawson Sunderland, Abel Caputo, Lucas Meek, Ricardo Montenegro, Miles Perkovic, who scored the game winner when these two teams met almost a month ago down in Fort Lauderdale. Perkovic scored with the game tied at 2 with about 90 seconds to go to give Inter Miami full points. And then Lorenzo D'Agostini fills out your starting 11 for Inter Miami as they get ready to play Atlanta United 2. Very, very busy week so far here in the match week. Let's recap and get you caught up to where we actually are, because there's action going on as we speak. Actually, the week started back on Monday. OCB 3-2 winners over Red Bulls 2 at Osceola Heritage Park. Then your Friday night football kicks in MLS Next Pro. Austin FC 2 trying to chase Colorado Rapids 2 as one of the top teams in the Western Conference shuts out Real Monarchs at Palmer Field by the score of 3-0. Sporting Kansas City 2 traveled to Swangard Friday night to take on Whitecaps FC 2. That one ended up 1-1 after 90 minutes. Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2 won 5-4 in PKs. Saturday, 2 matches went on. Portland Timbers 2, 4-2 winners over Loons 2 at Providence Park. Houston Dynamo 2 go on the road to Titan Stadium on the campus of Cal State Fullerton, and they knock off LAFC 2, who have had a bit of a rough start here in the 2023 season for MLS Next Pro. Early start this afternoon at Lower.com Field. Columbus Crew 2 did get a goal from Marco Micheletto, but it gave up 4 to Chicago Fire 2. So Fire 2 doubles up Crew 2 by the score of 4-2. Also earlier in the afternoon at Northern Kentucky University in 10 minutes outside of Cincinnati, FC Cincinnati 2 knocks off Union 2 by the score of 2-1. Union 2 finished that match with only 10 men. Matches going on right now. It is absolute craziness at Joe Davis Stadium in Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville had a 3-1 lead. They no longer have the 3-1 lead in the second half. NYCFC 2 has come storming back. So Huntsville and NYC tied at 3s with 25 minutes to go. Red Bulls 2 and Revs 2 on the campus of Montclair State University with about 20 to go. Red Bulls 2 leading that one by the score of 3-1. 27th minute, Rapids 2 at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado, leading Earthquakes. That one is goalless between San Jose and Colorado. That one's goalless in the 27th minute in Commerce City, Colorado. Coming up in short order, North Texas SC at Choctaw Stadium hosting Los Dos, LA Galaxy 2. You have this match coming up in a few minutes, and then the late game, if you want to call it the late game, on the campus of York University at York Lions Stadium. OCB having to travel all the way to Toronto to take on TFC2. That will wrap up the action here on a very, very busy Sunday in MLS Next Pro. Let's get over the standings as we wrap up the match week here in the Eastern Conference in the Northeast. Crown Legacy at 27 points at 8-1-2-1. That fourth column is always going to be the shootout wins that a team ends up with getting the extra point in the season. Revs 2 playing right now. They're at 23 points. Red Bulls 2 at 20. NYCFC is at 16. Philadelphia Union 2 at 14. TFC is at 7. In the Central Division, Orlando City B has hopscotched Columbus Crew. It is now 21 points to 20. Atlanta United 2 starting tonight once again at 16 points. Cincinnati is at 13 points. Chicago Fire is at 12. Inter Miami coming into the matchup tonight with 10. And Huntsville with 9 points with a record of 1-5-3-3 in your shootout wins so far for Jack Collison as they started their first 7 matches of the season away from Joe Davis Stadium, starting off with a record of 0-4-3, coming back home to Joe Davis. Third match in a row tonight. They are 1-1 so far after winning their debut in Huntsville, Alabama at a renovated Joe Davis Stadium. In the Western Conference, Frontier Division, Colorado Rapids 2 have not lost in their first 11 matches. They are 8-0-3-1 at 28 points. Austin FC 2, we mentioned them playing a little catch-up tonight. They're at 22 points through their first 12 matches at 6-3-3-1. Houston Dynamo, they are at 19 points. Sporting Kansas City is at 16 points. Identical record with Minnesota United. They are ahead on goal difference right now, +1 to -2. North Texas SC is at 16 points as well, but they have played one more match, so their points per game average puts them below those other two. In sixth place, St. Louis City 2 in 11 matches at 2, 4, 5, and 4 shootout points give them 15 points on the season. In the Pacific Division, Vancouver Whitecaps, they are at 23 points with a record of 6-3-3-2 after their first 12 matches. Tacoma Defiance at 18 points. Earthquakes at 15. Timbers, they are at 12. Real Monarchs are at 12. LA Galaxy 2, they are at 10 points. LAFC 2, once again, we mentioned their rough start after their first 10 matches with a record of 1, 5, and 4 after their first 10 matches have been played. Once again, reminder of what happened back on May 7. Atlanta United with 2 early goals on the board. Then coming back after a goal in the 17th, an own goal by Aiden McFadden. We mentioned the goal by Perkovic with about 90 seconds to go. Gave Inter Miami the 3-2 win and the only time that these two teams have met here so far this season. Your ref in the middle tonight is Sean Tahini, assistants Nicholas Seymour and Hillis Waddell III. Your fourth official is Joshua Belk here in Kennesaw. And it looks like we're going to skip anthems and head straight to the first 45 minutes. So with everything underway, we're going to send it to the voices for tonight's game here on the SDH Network alongside Jarrett Smith. It's the voice of Atlanta United 2, Jason Longshore.
Chance for revenge for Atlanta United 2. They have been in great form since a bad loss on the road to New York City. Really a tough point in the season for Atlanta United 2, a tough point after that, a match where they were thoroughly outplayed. Since then, since a post-match locker room discussion, they've been 4-2-2. One of the only losses they've had in their last 8 was a game where they had a 2-0 lead down in Fort Lauderdale. Atlanta United 2 comes into this one looking for a bit of revenge on the Baby Herons of Inter Miami. Miami in the all-pink. Let's kick it for 45 minutes from Kennesaw. Miami in the all-pink, moving from right to left on your radio dial. Atlanta United 2 in the all-black with red trim and gold print, moving from left to right. Scramble initially as both teams kind of feeling each other out. It's been a weird night, Jarrett, with about an hour's worth of a delay. There had been no warm-up at all, so they kind of came out and had a quick warm-up and are rolling straight away.
It's got to be tough, and not just physically. You want to have your body ready to go physically, but also to get in the right mindset. You're sitting in the locker room, you're getting a little bit relaxed sometimes. Maybe you're amped up, and maybe you come down a little bit from that. Who can stay locked in early and maybe get an early advantage?
Mistake there from Luke Brennan. Turns it over, trying to drop that back to Lanza. Not on the same page. It's a throw for Miami and Cesar Abadia. 17 years old, Abadia has been part of the U.S. Youth National Team pool. 5th start of the season, 1 goal this year for Abadia, the left back for Miami. Sarsar on it now. Up the left side to Lucas Meek. Flicked forward, inside to Abadia. He's into the 18. Cut back cross, caught by Reyes.
Is the confidence that Reyes has shown this year, I feel like it's been a jump from last year. Just even simple things like having short hands but commanding his box well. He just looks so much more comfortable in 2023.
Building out of the back from left to right. Lanza up the right side. Tamimi can't control. Farid Sarsar back to his goalkeeper, Owen Finnerty. Second start of the year for Finnerty. Finnerty, the 22-year-old rookie year. He's out of Michigan State. Sarsar. Cross to his center back partner, Tyler Hall. Back to Sarsar. Edging into the middle third now, Miami. Abadia. Back to Sarsar, back to Hall. Up the right side now to Israel Boatwright. Tyler Hall, the 17-year-old center back, across to Sarsar. 3rd minute. Miami controlling possession right now in the middle third. Sarsar. To his right to Hall, to his left back to Sarsar.
I'm curious how adventurous Miami gets in this. In 11 games this season, Miami has been shut out in 5 of them. It's a tough way to live your life when you know that one mistake can really put you behind the 8 ball.
Finnerty gives it back to Sarsar. He dribbles forward. Up the left side, picked off by Brennan. Tamimi gives it back to Brennan down the right side. Brennan trying to get around Abadia. He does. Brennan cross, headed away at the top of the 6. Tamimi was lurking. Didn't get his head to it.
Little hesitation from Tamimi and then made the run in front of the defender. Had space. It's well defended, though.
Meek up the left side to Lorenzo De Agostini. Back to Meek. That's broken up by Tony Tiente, who earns a throw for Atlanta. Lanza up the line to Brennan. Brennan pulls the spin. Grabbed, foul, and a free kick for Atlanta near midfield.
Put one in that one in your back pocket for Brennan picking up a foul in his favor. Good little spin there. And start racking up fouls on guys. Start seeing if you pick up a little persistent infringement, especially if Atlanta continues to attack down that right-hand side.
Lanza plays the free kick back to Cobb. Cobb squares it to his left to Morales. One more time to the left to Nelson Orji. Tumasi. Centeno. In newly bleached blonde Eric Centeno draws a foul at midfield. And his blonde Bomber partner, Nick Firmino, will take the free kick. Now he's going to leave it for Orji, another blonde.
It's one or two guys changing their hair color. It's easy to pick it up. When the whole team decides to work as a unit and change their hair color, it just makes it even more confusing.
Noah Cobb over the top. Brennan trying to get in behind. Skips off the grass. Abadia does a good job to shield Brennan off as Finnerty comes out to claim it.
Well, Finnerty hesitated for a second. I think he was waiting to see if Abadia late got to it, but a little bit scarier than I think he meant to.
Slip and Centeno comes away with it. Centeno driving into the 18. Lays it off to Tamimi, picked off. Still there for Atlanta, though. Twumasi long-range shot blocked. Centeno scrambling and wins it back. Driving up the left side on the dribble. Heavy touch. Might have gotten an inadvertent arm to the face, and he did. Free kick Atlanta about 40 yards out.
I think he may have gotten the finger poke of doom right into the eyes, but inadvertently. But a little good bit of counter pressure from Eric Centeno to keep the pressure up for Atlanta so they can stay in the offensive half.
Boatwright commits the foul on Nelson Orji. Centeno will take the free kick. Not quite ready for that yet. Centeno will try this again. Efrain Morales making a late run, top of the 18. Miami set their line right at the top of the box.
We've seen them use Morales for set pieces before.
Centeno doesn't get it to Morales. It's flicked over to the backside of the play by Miami, and they're trying to clear. They do, but it's going to be an attacking third throw for Atlanta United.
If you've never stood next to Efrain Morales, he's every bit of 6'3". It's a great target in the box.
Lanza wanted to take that throw quickly. Maybe a little too quickly. There's another ball on the field. Lanza throws it backwards, this time to Noah Cobb. Cobb to Morales inside his own half. Back to Cobb. Back to Morales. Trying to draw Miami in. Morales almost gives it away to DeAgostini. Tiente rescues the play, swings it over to the right side to Lanza. One more pass forward to Brennan. Firmino comes over to join the party. 1-2 with Lanza. Firmino back to Twumasi. Kofi Twumasi swings it over to the left to Efrain Morales. 7th minute, no score as of yet. Nelson Orji. Tony Tiente, good turn, trying to find Firmino, can't do it. Picked off by Lawson Sunderland. Owen Finnerty, top of his own 18, the Miami goalkeeper. Sarsar. Atlanta trying to cut off the lanes forward. Brennan does a good job of forcing Abadia back. It's back to Sarsar. And back to the goalkeeper, Finnerty. Finnerty drives this down the middle of the field. Noah Cobb wins the header. Tiente can't win the second ball. DeAgostini heads it wide to the left to Lucas Meek. Former Washington Husky drops it back to Abadia. Back to Sarsar. Miami's comfortable now in possession in the middle third.
They're comfortable in possession. It gives Atlanta a chance to reset themselves as well. They'll provide some pressure. You saw right there, Firmino's able to step up and provide a little bit of pressure, but it lets Atlanta also reset their defense. They're not out of shape.
Abadia on it. Drops it to Sarsar. Cross to Tyler Hall. Hall drives this down the right side. Nelson Orji goes up to win the header. Tiente trying to spin away from pressure. Can't do it. Knocked away from him. Miami back on it in the attacking half. Big switch to Lucas Meek. Meek pops it forward. Twumasi there to shepherd that one over the line in front of Ricardo Montenegro. Goal kick Atlanta.
Great work from Twumasi. Just get his body in the way, kind of shield him off of the ball, boxes him out. Does it in a strong way, but doesn't risk committing a foul, doesn't risk committing a dangerous situation.
Goal kick played short by Reyes. Morales. Orji. Over the head of Firmino. Miami heads it forward back into the 18. Morales is going to let that one go over the end line. Goal kick. I think the referee, Sean Tahini, was checking with the AR to see if that had taken a deflection. It was very close. The AR was non-committal. Big goal kick looking for Brennan. Spins off of his head out for a Miami throw.
so far targeting Abadia down there with Luke Brennan, both with his pace and with the physicality that Brennan does bring to this team.
Finnerty passes forward. Montenegro knocks it back to Hall. His pass comes up short. Orji intercepts. Finds Firmino. Tumasi. Tiente attacking half possession for Atlanta United 2. Centeno down the left. Wants to get around the outside. Up against the end line. Dribbles it over the end line. Just couldn't win that duel with Israel Boatwright. Goal kick Miami.
Oh, it's great defense from Boatwright as well. Just kind of steps up to him. Doesn't bite on any of the step overs. Sticks with him. Waits for him to make his move and then just kind of shepherds him out.
Farid Sarsar played in college at Nova Southeastern. Plays it forward. Finds DeAgostini, but he can't control. It is a slicker than usual track here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Nelson Orji up the left side. Firmino going for it. Might find the second ball. He does. Can't control, though. Out for a Miami throw. 11th minute, no score. Atlanta and Miami, MLS Next Pro, match day 11. Finnerty under pressure. Trying to play out of it with Hall. Out on the right side. Hall long for DeAgostini. Morales wins the header, but Montenegro brings it down at midfield. He's fouled by Tumasi.
I don't mind that foul from Tumasi in that moment. It's not a situation where you're going to pick up a yellow card, but you're not going to let him turn and create an opportunity to get numbers forward and to find the defense out of shape.
Hall squares it over to Sarsar. Miami's starting to play a little bit longer now as they're not being able to play through Atlanta's defensive pressure. Sarsar on cue goes long. Lanza defending Meek, but the flag is up.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes for both teams. You talked about the field conditions, Jason, that it's really slick out there. All it takes is somebody to slip in a dangerous situation. But if you're not able to build up through the middle and not able to at least provide the threat that you might, it makes it a little bit easier for Atlanta to sit back.
Reyes on it inside his own 18. Tiente swings it over to the right side. Good ball to Lanza, but it skips away from him, unable to control. Miami throw. Abadia tried to throw it in about 40 yards further back than he was. Throws it in, intended for Meek, or for Sunderland. He's fouled. Free kick, Miami. About 10 yards inside the attacking half.
Tumasi being told that's the second foul in a couple minutes, so he's going to need to kind of cool his jets just a little bit with the physicality in the middle. Although he's not going to let them turn and have a free run. So have to be smart about it.
Abadia standing over the free kick. Tiente getting the conversation as well. Abadia plays the free kick back to Sarsar. Hall squares back to his left to Sarsar. Up the left side to Meek. Meek curling around to the right. Nowhere to go. Plays it back to Hall. Cross to the right to Boatwright. Up the right flank. Does not connect with Perkovic. Throw Atlanta.
So often we talk about pressure isn't just a matter of, picking off a pass or winning a tackle. You provide that pressure long enough and you start getting misplaced passes where they might be connecting or it might go out of bounds, but it might connect in a dangerous opportunity going the other way.
Throw in up the line. It's headed inside. Tamimi almost got control of that for Atlanta United. Miami resets back to their goalkeeper, Finnerty. 14th minute, no score here in Kennesaw. Late start due to weather. Both teams still trying to get going here a little bit. Orji slips down. Might have had a little help. Free kick Atlanta.
Might see that a couple times too tonight. You get beat on something, you might go down with a bit of soft contact on the slip.
Orji plays the free kick back to Morales. And now Vicente Reyes. Third clean sheet of the season last week. 4-2-1 as a starter for Atlanta United 2. Tiente brings it down in the middle third. Swings it over to the left side to Orji. Back to Tiente. Up the line to Centeno. Back to Tiente. Orji making a run forward. Tamimi gives it back to Tiente. Orji actually held up his run. Puts his hand up in apology. Playing as a left back, Nelson Orji kind of getting used to that movement tonight.
Yeah, we were curious how that movement would go. It's a nice little sequence from Atlanta United in that moment. Orji just cuts his run a little bit short there and might be thinking more on the defensive side of thing, but a good sequence. He might put that one in the back pocket for later.
Finnerty to Sarsar. Forward to Lawson Sunderland. Hall back to Finnerty. Atlanta just keeping everything in front of them from Miami. Sarsar dribbles forward. Back to Finnerty. Across to Hall. Back to Finnerty. Sarsar. Dribbling forward into the middle third. Now up the left side to Lucas Meek. Meek defended by Brennan. Tried the 1-2. Atlanta got the deflection. Twumasi won it back. Brennan has Tamimi outside to the right. Plays it to him. Brennan's tripped up by Sunderland. Advantage played. Tamimi squares it across. It's given back to Tamimi. Top of the 18. Big save. Follow up. Goal! 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 Atlanta United 2. The advantage played to perfection. Kareem Tamimi stopped, but Eric Centeno slams it home on the rebound.
What a fantastic build-up sequence. What strength from Tamimi for not going down on the initial challenge as they get around the halfway line. After that, it's Luke Brennan. It's a combination down the right-hand side. You get the foul. You play the advantage really nicely. Even when the ball's loose a bit, she doesn't blow it immediately. She waits to see how the play is going to finish out. Eventually, it falls to Kareem Tamimi, who, if there's somebody in MLS Next Pro right now that you don't want the ball to fall to, Kareem Tamimi is at or near the top of that list. Shot is saved really nicely by Finnerty, but nothing he can do about Eric Centeno cleaning up the scraps.
Two really big decisions in that sequence from Sean Tahini, the referee. Brennan was tripped up in the build-up. Advantage was played there. When the advantage didn't quite 100% materialize and a pass was deflected, whistle could have been blown. It wasn't to bring it back. It fell to Tamimi. His shot saved, but then Centeno, with his first goal of the season, gives Atlanta United 2 the 1-0 lead in the 17th minute.
Now, they've been here before, and it's something that this team has had to work on in the last few weeks, Jason, of having leads and protecting them, and then not only that, just building on them.
Brennan down the line to Firmino. Atlanta into the attacking third quickly. Drop back to Brennan. Brennan wants to take this to the outside. Abadia shuts that down. Brennan curls back around to his left. All the way back to Sean Lanza. Smart patience there from Luke Brennan. Cobb squares to his left to Morales. Orji gives it back to Morales. Morales in a little bit of a jam, finds his way out of it. Twumasi. All the way back to Reyes. Cobb. Up the right side to Lanza. Further up the right side, Firmino. Shielding, drawing the foul. Caputo commits the foul. Might have committed 2 or 3 in that sequence.
I say he might have committed 2 or 3. And see how much Atlanta's able.
Referee blows the whistle. I'm not sure why. Lanza was going to take the free kick.
Oh, he might be blood on Lanza.
Must be. Trainer running across quickly.
I have mixed feelings about the stoppage of play. I understand why she did it. I have
if
mixed
it's
feelings.
blood, you don't have a choice.
No, it's not. Yeah. It's not that. I have mixed feelings about the timing of it for Atlanta because I feel like this is a situation where Miami's going to start pressing. They're going to start feeling a little bit of anxiety. They're down once again. They know they can come back because they've done it before against this team, but they start pressing. They start with getting a little more aggressive. Maybe they make a mistake. Maybe it's one where Atlanta can exploit it. Now it's a chance. Can Miami settle themselves down a bit?
Really smart right now. Nick Firmino comes back to make sure that Centeno comes all the way back from left wing to right back to cover for Lanza right now. Lanza getting checked out by the trainer. I think it's a bloody nose.
Yeah, and she's doing her job. If he's bleeding, he's got to come off and get it taken
you
care
don't
of.
have any wiggle room. You have to send the player off.
Yeah.
So Lanza's getting checked out. Centeno's playing right back for now. Morales up the left side to Orji. Orji long down the middle over the head of Firmino. Second ball, looking for it was Tamimi. He commits a foul. Free kick Miami at midfield.
Got there about the same time, stuck that foot out to try and get it going the other way. It wasn't able to control it.
Abel Caputo will take the free kick at midfield. Back to Sarsar. Forward to Lawson Sunderland. Abadia. Over to the right to Hall. Boat right on the right side. Lanza still getting attention from the trainer. Sarsar dribbling forward. Looks like Lanza will be ready to come back shortly. Brennan mishandles it. Abadia. Cross. Not controlled by DeAgostini. Goal kick Atlanta.
That's a big chance for Miami that goes once. Gets a good ball into DeAgostini. It's got a lot of pace on it, and he's just not able to cushion it enough before it goes out of the line.
Be a goal kick for Atlanta. Centeno goes back to the left wing. Lanza back to right back. Noah Cobb on it inside his 18. Caputo gets ahead to Cobb's pass for Firmino. Tiente brought it down, found Firmino. Lanza up the right side to Nick Firmino. Firmino pulls it back. Passes up the line to Brennan, but it goes out for a throw.
Nice little tightrope act from Firmino to get himself out of jail.
Sunderland. Meek down the left side for Miami. Into the attacking third now. Meek cuts in on the right foot. Meek trying to curl one in, but it's wide. Wide of the far post. Goal kick Atlanta.
Seemed like everybody realized what he was going to do. You started getting the run on the outside there. Perkovic looked like he stopped his run going forward and knew he was going to try and curl that in.
22nd minute, Eric Centeno's goal gives Atlanta United 2, the 1-0 lead. No assist on that. The save from Finnerty denied to Mimi. Atlanta wins it in the middle third with Centeno. He's tripped up from behind.
You can't kick it away like that.
And that's going to get the yellow card. I think it was coming even before it being kicked away. Yeah, Perkovic who gets the yellow. Nelson Orji standing over the free kick, 10 yards inside the defensive half. Quick 1-2 with Kofi Twumasi, and now it's back to Morales. All the way back to Reyes, top of his own 18, squares to the right to Cobb.
More pressure coming from Miami, might be space behind.
Cobb looking for that space over the top. Brennan started his run too early, offside. Free kick Miami.
I love that from Atlanta, though. If Miami's going to step up and create that space behind the back line, you've already been going after Abadia all evening for the first 20-plus minutes with Luke Brennan. Go after him even more there.
Yeah, that's a common sequence for Atlanta United, too, looking for Brennan on that ball over the top. Hasn't come off yet tonight. Pressure from Atlanta forces Miami to play back to Finnerty. Sarsar through the middle overhit. Reyes will gather that in comfortably.
Miami stepping up to continue that pressure.
Reyes will walk it back and drop it down to his feet. He'll chip this into the middle third to find Tamimi. Tamimi able to bounce off of a defender, carry it forward. Good ball down the right side to Luke Brennan. Brennan into the attacking third, cuts back across. Hall heads it down. Meek on it for Miami, trying to dribble out. Sunderland back to Caputo. Hall on it, 24th minute. 1-0 Atlanta. Miami in their own half, in their defensive third, back to Finnerty. Finnerty going to dribble out a little bit here. Sarsar on it now. To the right to Hall. Up the right flank. Perkovic down the line. Morales is there to clear. Throw Miami, edge of the attacking third on the right side.
Fine with that for Morales. Montenegro had started to kind of twist inside on his run to try and be that body in the middle of the box since DeAgostini had flicked out to the right. Boatwright
will take the throw. Gets it back. Centeno slides in, knocks this out for another Miami throw. Boatwright looking for options. Throws it to the end line off of Morales' head, out for a corner for Miami.
Those long throw-ins are such a pain to deal with. It's hard to get any momentum. You want to head the ball away from goal. In that case, you get it out for a corner. You want to head it away, not towards the middle of the box, but out and away. But you have to provide all of the energy versus a ball being driven with a foot.
In-swinging corner from the far side. Abadia to take. Abadia into the 6-yard box. Reyes punches. It's not out of the 18 yet. Brennan makes sure that it is now. Big clearance down the left side into the attacking half. Miami will run back to take the throw with Hall. Throws into Finnerty. Atlanta reshaped now. Sarsar on it. To the right to Hall. Hall goes back to Finnerty.
Miami's looking for that long ball, but so far Cobb and Morales have really been in sync, not letting them make that run.
Sarsar passes forward to Sunderland, gets it back. Still in their own half, Miami. Tyler Hall. Boatwright. Curling inside. Boatwright on the dribble. Big switch from Israel Boatwright. Finds Abadia. Pass forward intended for Sunderland. Cobb intercepts. Tries to hit Brennan on the release. Can't do it. It's out for a throw.
It's an insanely difficult pass he tries to hit.
Meek, quick throw to DeAugustini. Back to Meek. Meek, 30 yards from goal. Pass inside. Took a deflection. Cobb has to clear. Meek deflected that, and it's going to be Miami over on the right side now. Montenegro back to Hall. Caputo. Up the right side, Perkovic. Has the overlap from Boatwright. Plays it to him. Boatwright on the end line. Cross in. Orji gets ahead to it. Header on, caught by Reyes. Orji got ahead to it, but then Sunderland headed it on goal.
Good bit of overload for Miami on the right-hand side. Able to create that opportunity. The pressure steps up once again for Miami.
Tiente trying to play out of that pressure. Concedes a corner. Sunderland stayed up high that time and changed Miami's shape, and it threw Atlanta off in a big way.
Well, it's the second time we've seen Sunderland do it. A moment ago, about 2 or 3 moments ago, when DeAugustini stepped up, it was Sunderland who helped press with him when they brought 2-on-2 with the pressure.
Corner this time from the near side in the 28th minute. Perkovic will take this one. It'll be another in-swinger. Lanza on the near post for Atlanta. Perkovic delivers. Lanza heads it away. Brennan wants to turn and does. Luke Brennan. Abadia's hitting the Jets. So is Brennan. Abadia arm bars him down to the ground. Foul called. Yellow card to Cesar Abadia.
And it's going to slow him down.
You can't play it quickly because the yellow's got to be recorded.
Yeah.
Good work from Brennan on the turn. Abadia equal in the foot race, but got the grab and gets the foul.
Abadia's been asked to do a lot so far this evening, dealing with Luke Brennan, and now that comes in the 28th minute. Could be a long evening for Abadia, as he's going to have to deal with Luke Brennan on more of those, surely.
Tumasi off of the free kick, across to the left to Orji. Kofi gets it back. Orji at midfield, drops it to Morales. Back to Reyes. Reyes. Sunderland stepping up high, square to Cobb. Cobb passes inside, but it's deflected by Sunderland. Pass then intended for Sunderland. It finds Lanza. Sunderland back up to his feet after going to ground. Firmino trying to turn, doesn't get the foul. Caputo on it.
Glad to see Sunderland's all right. The way he went down, I was hoping his knee didn't buckle under him.
Meek carrying it forward. Sunderland knocked off of it by Cobb. Miami throw. Thrown into DeAugustini. He wants to turn. Cobb tries to deny him. Knocks it back off of DeAugustini. Good defending from Noah Cobb.
It was. He got back, and I think as he turned around, he didn't realize that that throw was going to come so quickly right to where he was. Put a body very quickly on D'Agostini and was able to force it out.
I think Cobb got a touch, and it came back off of D'Agostini. Cobb seemed in control there. Goal kick played short. Reyes across to Morales on the left. Morales tries to go 1v1 on the dribble with D'Agostini. Knocked out for a goal kick.
Miami's going to keep this pressure up. They're keeping bodies higher up, and you look out there, Jason, you can see that space between, what is their midfield and the back line. If Atlanta can drop it in like they have before to Tamimi.
Reyes goes over that space looking for Brennan down the right. Comes off the head of Abadia, but Sarsar is there. Plays back to Finnerty. Finnerty converged on by two Atlanta attackers. Able to find Caputo. Montenegro over to the right side. Perkovic, good work on the dribble. Curling inside once again. Big switch to Meek. Meek, back heel. Sunderland's got a long way to go. He's not going to get there. Cobb gets there first.
I don't think people realize how fast Noah Cobb actually is.
Tiente tripped up. Free kick, Atlanta. Tiente's been fouled, I think, 2 or 3 times.
That's the second or third time, and I don't blame Miami for this at all. It's a good idea. The way Atlanta shifts their defense, they're finding that big diagonal switch and then trying to one-touch off of it, but every time they've done it, Noah Cobb has been right there to clean it up.
Miami back on it in the middle third. Loose touch from Firmino. Sarsar, Hall, back to Sarsar. Inside his own half, Miami trying to find a way to create a chance here. Sarsar back on it once again. Atlanta defending in a 4-4-1-1 a lot of times, sometimes a 4-4-2. Miami trying to attack down the right. Tumasi there to clean it up. Cuts it back to Reyes. Square ball to the left to Morales. Up the left side to Orji. Orji trying to dribble out of trouble. He's really trapped here. Can he get anything out of it? He gets a throw. Good work from Nelson Orji.
I think he bounced it off of somebody's chest and out. Kind of got pinned in by 3 guys, and at that point, just get it out. Either get it off of somebody or get it out.
Orji will take the throw after tying up the boot. 32nd minute, 1-0 Atlanta United 2. Eric Centeno with the goal off a rebound. Atlanta can't find Tamimi up top. Abadia brings it down. Hall cuts it back to the left to Sarsar. Up the left side for Meek. Meek to Sunderland. Lawson Sunderland. Stiff arm on Cobb. Cobb comes back for more, but he finds Abadia. Abadia, big switch across the boat right. Perkovic with space now for Miami. Into the attacking third. Chops it back to his left foot. Cross in. Headed, easy save for Vicente Reyes.
That's great work from Centeno to hustle up, forcing back onto his left foot, where he's hitting that in-curling ball, but it's more towards the top of the box, not as dangerous of an area.
Didn't have a lot on that cross, so Meek wasn't able to get much power on the header. Reyes with a comfortable save. Atlanta fouled on the left side. Centeno dumped to the ground by Boatwright. Perkovic on a yellow card, Abadia on a yellow card for Miami. Into the 34th minute now. Nelson Orji standing over the free kick. Swings this back to Reyes. Reyes, good pass forward to Tiente. Tiente looking for the ball over the top to Brennan. Brennan trying to get in behind Abadia. He's fouled. Abadia's on a yellow. He's getting a second yellow. Miami will play the rest of the match with 10.
Well, we talked about attacking that spot, Jason, because of what Luke Brennan was doing to Abadia, and it took 5 minutes before they got that, where Luke Brennan, just raw pace and strength, gets inside of Abadia. Feet get tangled, but Abadia's in a situation where he has to be flawless for 70 minutes, and he wasn't.
Really good work from Atlanta United 2 to force Abadia into that. Maybe should have just let him go, but that's easier said than done when you're 17 years old, 5th start this season. and you're being driven into fits by Luke Brennan.
Brennan, who's really stepped up his play in the last few weeks and really trying to find that consistency that you're looking for with homegrowns and future homegrown players.
Free kick, Atlanta United to about 30 yards from goal. Firmino standing over it. Three-man wall for Miami. They're setting their line at the top of the 18. Firmino's got the range to go to goal here if he wants. Can also chip it to the backside. Morales and Orji are on that left side. Might try to knock this down for Tamimi. Firmino goes for goal over the crossbar.
It's good work from Owen Finnerty. He had it covered there. Didn't commit one way or another. Had enough distance where he was able to, it looked like it was far enough out where he's able to see it and get a good line of sight on and react to it.
Yeah, it's in that in-between zone that can be difficult for a goalkeeper, but Finnerty handled that very, very well. Only Finnerty's second start. We've seen CJ Dos Santos a lot for Inter Miami too this season. First-team goalkeeper, loaned down, spent time at the youth level at Benfica. But Dos Santos was on the bench for the first team last night in Fort Lauderdale. So Finnerty gets the start here in Kennesaw tonight. Miami into the attacking half. Morales commits a foul. Might have been a foul on Orji. Either way, it is a Miami free kick, 40 yards from goal on the right side.
There's a bit of a mosh pit there. Body's just trying to get positioning.
Yeah, I think Orji might have grabbed on the ground, and Morales went up and won the header. Miami kind of getting organized now. It's Federico Higuain, the legend, calls over two players to get the shape set. Doesn't want to have to make any subs here in the first half. He can rearrange it in the second. Miami's got a free kick here. Montenegro chips this in. Reyes makes the catch, knocked into the ground. Ball pops out of his hands. It'll be a free kick for Atlanta. Reyes will catch his breath. Landed very hard on the ground. Kind of an awkward landing, but I think this might be a little bit of catching his breath as well.
Well, it knocked the breath out of you like that. When you go up to catch a ball and you fall, you don't have anything to brace yourself.
Yeah, the arms are extended.
Yeah. So when your chest hits the ground, when your midsection hits the ground, all the air is going to get forced out. There's nothing to brace.
Yeah, Reyes back to his feet now. He's okay. Miami looks like they're going to play in a 3-back setup right now.
It looks like Higuain is going to go ahead and make a change. He's got one player in the technical area.
He is going to make that change now. Ball played forward off of a Miami head. It's Atlanta on it now, Tiente. Brennan skipping forward into the attacking third. Tamimi out wide on the right. Multiple step overs, dancing around the ball. Back to Lanza.
Brennan's looking for fresh meat to target at this point.
Cobb squares it over to the left to Orji. Orji up the left side. Firmino knocks it back to Morales. Square back to the right to Cobb. Atlanta with the man advantage. Karim Tamimi curls it inside. Tiente tries to hit Firmino on the run. That's picked off. Caputo over to the right side. Drop back. One more time to Finnerty. Good pass forward by Finnerty. Caputo knocks it forward to Montenegro. Now up the right side, De Agostini draws a foul from Morales near midfield, and Miami will make their sub. Or not.
Yeah, they will.
Now they will. And it's going to be Ricardo Montenegro who is sacrificed here.
Miami 2 substitution in the 39th minute. Exiting the match, number 69, Ricardo Montenegro. Entering the match, number 77,
Nicholas Sisak, rookie from Indiana University. He comes in at the left back position. So Miami will get back to a line of 4. Probably a 4-4-1 is how they'll play this.
Lanza's bleeding again.
Sean Lanza having some bad luck tonight.
And look, somebody's going to start getting loose for Atlanta.
see if they can get this stopped. Atlanta will adjust. Centeno will go to right back, so it's 10v10 momentarily.
See how much toilet paper you can stick up that nose just to plug it for a little bit.
At least get to halftime. Sarsar to Cisak. Sarsar. Sunderland. Hall. Miami still in their own half. Popped forward by Boatwright. Morales just puts it into the stands on the far side. 40th minute. 1-0 Atlanta United 2. Eric Centeno with the goal, his first of the year. Caputo. Back to Boatwright. Across the Sarsar at midfield.
Looks like it's Remy Akinola getting loose for Atlanta United 2 down near the goal.
Remy Akinola has not played for Atlanta United 2 as of yet. He's headed to Clemson in the fall. Back heel, Nelson Orji read that the whole way and pushed over to draw the foul.
So smart from Nelson Orji.
Perkovic is already on a yellow, and that's a yellow card possibility foul. Doesn't get it. Free kick played to Tamimi.
Well, one of the things we talk about with these MLS Next Pro games a lot of times is you're learning how to manage the game as a professional, and being on a yellow card is one of those things.
Cobb plays it back inside to Reyes, now to Umasi. Still 10v10 right now. Now Lanza back on.
Back.
Tiente to Umasi. Morales. Atlanta gets reshaped with Lanza coming back over to right back, and he gets a pass to get him settled into position.
And same thing as last time, Jason, you talked about. It was Centeno very awarely dropping back to keep the defensive shape and to make sure that Atlanta was still going to be sound.
Yeah, that first time I'm not sure if the message came from Steve Cook or from the bench, or if Nicholas Firmino kind of took up the leadership and settled it and made Centeno go back there. This time, Centeno went back quickly. Firmino on it in the middle third. Chips this forward. Long run from Tony Tiente, but Owen Finnerty picks it up at the top of his own 18. Miami player down on the far side.
That's Perkovic, I think.
Not sure if that was
a
collision off the ball or not.
Perkovic holding his face, it looks like.
Didn't catch any contact he was involved in.
He's talking to the fourth official, Perkovic is, but
I don't think anybody saw it. Drop ball back to Finnerty. The Atlanta United 2 crowd not really showing a lot of sympathy for Perkovic. Tiente gets there. He's hit by DeAgostini. It's a foul, free kick Atlanta. Just a bouncing ball that both of them go for, and DeAgostini's just the second one to get there. No malicious intent there.
No, but one of the hard things about playing in a stadium like this is that even though it was 45 feet away, you still hear every bit of that collision. That did not sound fun.
Well, on the broadcast, part of that is our excellent crowd mic system as well.
We should hire that guy and give him more money.
That's what I'm saying. Cobb squares it over to Morales. Nelson Orji on it, 43rd minute. Tiente back to Reyes. Efrain Morales back to Reyes. Reyes skips the lines over to the right to Lanza. Lanza plays it forward over the head of Tamimi. Good pressure from Meek that time on Lanza. Finnerty on it at the top of his own 18. Forced to pick that up with pressure from Tamimi. I think Miami just wants to get to halftime. Punt from Finnerty. Meek can't corral it. Skips away from him. Atlanta throw at midfield. Lanza back to Cobb.
Lanza wanted him to play it over there, and he did. He was on top of him, and he ended up getting a turnover going for Atlanta.
Morales passes inside to Kofi Twumasi.
You'd love to get a second goal here if you're Atlanta United, too, and go into halftime with a 2-goal lead and not give Miami a chance to readdress everything only down a goal.
Morales passes inside to Tumasi. Miami's pressure really can't happen anymore. They've got to drop off, playing with 10. Cobb dribbles forward, squares to his left to Morales.
Love the bit of organization down here from Luke Brennan on the right-hand side, talking to Sean Lanza, trading places with each other, communicating where they need to be, trying to find space.
The man advantage and a 1-goal lead, you can get a little more adventurous at times. Orji back to Morales. Back to Reyes. Miami staying compact here defensively. Reyes squares to his right to Cobb. Cobb dribbles forward, trying to engage Miami. They're not falling for it. Across to the left to Morales. Firmino gives it back to Morales. Knocks it over to the left, finds Orji. Orji inside to Reyes. Here comes Miami's pressure. Nelson Orji back on it. Able to play forward to find Firmino. Centeno tries to lay it off to Tiente, but it falls back to Firmino. Now Cobb into stoppage time. 3 minutes of that. Firmino. Lanza. Firmino. Atlanta still in their own half. Trying to draw Miami out and create space.
It's good patience from Atlanta, not forcing anything, not creating anything unnecessary in the turnover department.
Firmino back to Morales. Morales cuts inside of DeAgostini. Big switch to Lanza. Lanza forward to Brennan. Lanza underlaps Brennan. Tiente with the 1-2 with Luke. Tiente now across to Morales. Orji at midfield. Up the left side to Centeno. Miami hasn't had a touch of the ball for about 90 seconds. They get a little frustrated and a foul on Centeno.
Israel Boatwright committing the foul. You talked about it, Jason. It's a frustration. You haven't touched the ball in going on 2 minutes, and you want the ball at some point.
Morales passes forward to Tiente. Cobb. Cobb carrying it forward to Mimi. Tries the backheel flick to Firmino. Zarsar, nice defensive work from him. Hall back to Finnerty in his own 18. Finnerty plays this into the middle third. Morales goes up with DeAgostini. Tiente finds the second ball. Tiente hits the brakes, finds Tumasi. Across to Lanza. Brennan at midfield. Thought about pushing the pace. Didn't like what he saw in front of him. Goes back to Cobb.
We had Firmino making that run, but it was going to be really tight.
Morales 1-2 with Orji. It's Efrain Morales. Squares it to the right to Cobb. Cobb. Good pass forward to Firmino. Firmino able to turn to his left. Has Centeno. Plays it. Orji on his horse making the overlapping run. Nelson Orji with the cross. Luke Brennan goes up for the header. Doesn't find it. Commits the foul. Hall goes down. Smart from Hall to draw that foul. Free kick Miami.
Well, that's one of the things about it. If you're not going to provide that pressure on Atlanta as they get to the halfway line, you give Noah Cobb those opportunities to pick out a line-splitting pass, and then all of a sudden you're starting to get gutted.
Typically, we've seen Noah Cobb hit that ball over the top. That was a good one on the ground through the middle to Firmino's right foot. Finnerty takes the free kick, long for Miami down the left. Meek gets his head to it, heads it inside. Orji wins the header over Perkovic. Boatwright going to run this one down. No, he's not. Steve Cook is the one who actually gets the first touch on it. And that will do it for the first half. Eric Centeno's goal off a rebound. Karim Tamimi with the shot. That's the difference. Atlanta United 2 with a 1-0 lead at the break. We'll be back. Jon Nelson will walk you through halftime coming up right after this.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Halftime here. Atlanta United 2 leading Inter Miami 2 by the score of 1-0. Eric Centeno's first on the season back in the 16th minute has been the difference so far for the remaining 45 in the second half after 2 yellows. It is Cesar Abadia, whose day is done after 34 minutes. And so Federico Higuain is going to have to figure out what to do in the second 45, down a goal and down a man. Let's take a look at some of the first half numbers. Bring in Jarrett Smith in short order to get his thoughts on the first half before we take you through the rest of the league on a very, very busy Sunday. XG expected goals, it is .72 to .04 for Atlanta United 2. Shots, 4-2 for Atlanta United 2. Shots on target, 2-1. Shots inside the box, the same number there as well. It is 2-1 there as well. The big chance goes to Atlanta United 2 in the first 45 minutes. Touches in the opposition box, 7-3 for Inter Miami 2. Final third entries, they lead that as well as 18-14, one offside flag raised on each side. Possession numbers, it is 52-48 for Atlanta United 2 in the first 45 minutes. Passing accuracy 87% to 82%. Crosses 5-4 for Inter Miami 2. Corners 1-2 for the visitors so far in the first 45 minutes. Defensive actions, 3 tackles each, and Inter Miami has won all 3 of the 3 tackles they were involved in. Atlanta United 2 winning 2 of the 3, 5 interceptions to 4 for the visitors, 14 fouls called on Inter Miami 2 in the first 45 minutes. And once again, you had the Perkovic yellow, the Abadia yellow, and then the follow-up, which created the red card. So Perkovic right now, after getting his initial yellow in the 22nd minute, is the yellow on the board that Coach Higuain is going to have to look at in the second 45 minutes. Let's bring in Jarrett Smith and get his thoughts as we've gone through the first half numbers. And first goal of the season for Eric Centeno, but once again, pressure. Kareem Tamimi continues his hot run. We saw that again as a contributor and an instigator when advantage was played. Sunderland gets the foul on Luke Brennan. Well done by Sean Tahini in that case to make sure that the play was continued to let it breathe a little bit. You get the goal on the board in the 16th minute. Your thoughts of the first 45?
I thought it was a good 45 for Atlanta United, too. Obviously, you're going to be playing the next 45 up a man, and you're going to, I think, see more of what you saw, which is that patience in the build-up play. There's no reason to rush anything. You don't need anything here. If you find something more, great, beautiful, wonderful, perfect, marvelous. However, I think you're patient in your build-up. You're doing what you did, which is when you see the opportunity, you're taking it, because Abadia was just basically being victimized over and over again by Luke Brennan going down Atlanta's attacking right-hand side. You saw something that worked very strongly in your favor, and you took it because it was both an issue of pace and strength with Abadia, who's a kid. He's a teenager. Brennan is as well, but I think Brennan is a little more seasoned at this point. And something Abadia can learn from for Inter Miami, too. But ultimately, Atlanta was able to create the dangerous opportunity with the goal. Very strong. They'll surely give a very firm handshake to the official for playing advantage the way she did, and I don't disagree with the way she played it at all, but we've seen refs call it, the second that ball was loose to call the advantage and blow the whistle and force the free kick, but you play it out, and then it's actually a really good save from Owen Finnerty. And you're going up against a guy in Kareem Tamimi who cannot seem to miss right now. You save it, but you can't. You try and push it off to the side. Unfortunately, Eric Centeno's right there who puts it away. Atlanta's in good shape, and hopefully they're able to continue to build on what they did down in the first half, which is that they really pushed Inter Miami to just go over the top. Wasn't anything Inter Miami could do to play through that midfield of Tony Tiente and Tomasi. So we'll see if Miami tries to adjust this. It would have been nice for Atlanta to get a second goal before half, to really try and kill this game off before Miami can get in the locker room and talk about it. Because now, look, they're down a goal. Atlanta's in really good shape. However, if you get a set piece, you get something weird going the other way, and then Miami's able to get a goal while down a man, all of a sudden you're back level. So killing this game off, you don't want to just focus on it and sacrifice your defense, but if you get those opportunities, you want to be clinical with them.
Interesting defensive numbers. We kind of poured over the offensive numbers a little bit in the first half, going into our favorite category, the duels. Nelson Orji won 6 of 7 in the first 45. Efren Morales won 2. Noah Cobb won his 2 that he was involved in. Tony Tiente won his 3. Eric Centeno won all 5 of the duels that he was involved in the first 45 minutes. Also won possession 3 times in the final third. So some of the defensive numbers and the possession numbers and the aggressiveness from Atlanta United, too, that you're seeing in the first 45 minutes. Looking at the bench, Jarrett, in the second 45, I know a lot of folks, when it was announced that number 85 is a part of the process, looking at what you could see in the second 45, David Mejia is available, Heimar is available, Alan Carlton, Cooper Sanchez, Rocket Rita, Matthew DeJean, Remy Okunlola. We saw him warming up with the issues that Sean Lanza had in trying to stop a bleed out of the nose. And then 85, Ozzie Alonso for the second 45. That's what Steve Cook could opt to should he wish to.
Oh, yeah, you'd love to get in a situation where you find that second goal to just extinguish pretty much all hope early in the second half. Then you can make the changes you want to make to get guys opportunities, to get them live fire minutes, give Rocket Rita out there, get Aiden Torres out there. I believe at some point you will see Ozzie Alonso no matter the situation. Hey, man, if you're up 1-0 in the 60th minute, 70th minute, however the Visios have decided how long he can go, and it's up 1-0, and you're up a man, yeah, man, you're going to run him out there. You're going to see how he's feeling. You're going to see what he's got. You're going to try different situations, and the guys who are out there now, you're telling them, look, this is a situation that you need to be smart in, but you need to be clinical when you get your chances, because I think you will get more with Miami, as they're going to have to try and chase here. How quickly do they open up? How do you manage your set pieces, and how do you manage the game? Last time these teams met, and it was 11v11, Atlanta had a 2-goal lead and struggled to kill that game off and ended up losing it 3-2. What'd you learn from that? What can you apply it to this one? Not an apples-for-apples situation, but show me maturity and show me growth in the way that you deal with it and the way you close out the game. Honestly, a boring 45 would go a long way for that, and you'd love to see it.
All right, Jarrett's going to get ready for the second 45 minutes. We'll take you through some of the other scores in MLS Next Pro, give you a quick update from what's going on in the CCL final. Leon takes the lead in the second leg. Ambriz sets up Ivan Moreno for a cross, and Leon with the early lead in leg number 2. In MLS Next Pro earlier today, Chicago Fire 2 over Columbus Crew 2 by the score of 4-2 at Lower.com Field. That was one of the afternoon games. FC Cincinnati 2 over Philadelphia Union 2 by the final of 2-1. That one was in northern Kentucky. Goals by Halsey and Valenzuela. And Philadelphia Union 2 played the final 40-plus minutes down a man. So down a man, down a goal. Sanchez scoring in the 74th to draw it to 2-1, and that was your final score at NKU as FC Cincinnati gets the win. Craziness at Joe Davis Stadium in Huntsville. Huntsville had a lead of 2-0 after 16 minutes. Asad Liadi had one of the goals, and it was 3-0 after 35 on a PK. NYCFC2 comes storming back. They tie it at 3. A red card for Huntsville meant that they were down to 10 for the final 18 minutes. NYCFC wins 4-3 after being down 3-0 in Huntsville at Joe Davis Stadium. Big win for NYCFC on the road at Hunt City. Red Bulls 2 over New England Revolution 2 at Montclair State. That one was a 4-1 final. Goals by Hall and Thomas and Donkor made it 3 on the board in the first 45 for Red Bulls 2. Panayotu scored in the 7th minute to draw it even at ones initially. Then it was a goal in the 71st for the 4th one on the board for Red Bulls 2. So Red Bulls 2 gets the win 4-1, hosting New England Revolution 2. Games in progress, 74th minute, so about 15 minutes to go at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado. Earthquakes 2 leading Colorado Rapids 2 by the score of 2-0. Goals in the 33rd by Jack Scahan and William Richmond in the 59th have been the difference so far for the Quakes on the road, taking on the Rapids and beating the Rapids right now by 2 with 15 minutes to go. You can catch that one on MLS Next Pro. Goalless with Toronto FC 2 and Orlando City B. That one is at York Lions Stadium on the campus of York University. You can catch that one on MLS Season Pass. We'll keep an eye on that one for the final 60 minutes. You have this game here as we get you ready for the second 45 and your late game at 9:38. So basically 2 minutes from now, You can catch on MLS Season Pass at North Texas SC, hosting Los Dos in the Western Conference, North Texas SC and LA Galaxy 2. Let's take a quick break. Come back, get you ready for the second 45 minutes here at Atlanta United 2 as the teams come out with a 1-0 lead over Inter Miami 2. You're listening to Atlanta United 2 Soccer on the SDH Network. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
One of the toughest jobs in law enforcement is telling a family that a loved one has been killed by a drunk driver. That's why Georgia law enforcement works every day to keep drunk drivers off the road. Every DUI arrest could be one less family to lose someone to drunk driving. You can help. Hand the keys to a designated driver or call a ride service. It saves lives and prevents a costly DUI arrest. Drive sober or get pulled over. Brought to you by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Welcome back to Kennesaw, getting you ready for the second 45 minutes. Federico Higuain making some subs for Inter Miami 2. Jason Longshore will go over that and get you ready for the second 45 minutes. The 2's up 1-0 over the visitors.
Atlanta United 2 winning 62% of the duels in the first half. Might be the largest number that I've seen in the duels category anywhere this season. See if that can keep up. It's 11-10 for 45 more minutes. Atlanta United 2 versus Inter Miami 2. Miami's actually on time to start the second half.
That's a victory in and of itself in this city right now.
It is.
And you talk about the duels, Jason. Well, Atlanta made the midfield not an option for Miami. They had to go long. And Efrain Morales and Noah Cobb are going to win a lot of duels. And especially if you're going right down the middle, they're going to handle their business. And if you try and go down the side, if you go in Nelson Orji's direction, you're going to have run into trouble there as well.
Let's kick it for 45 more from Kennesaw. Atlanta United 2 leading 1-0. Looking for their second straight win and second straight clean sheet at that. Nelson Orji up the left side to Centeno. Back to Orji. Back to Morales. Cobb on it now on the right side. Morales. Orji.
A couple subs for Miami at halftime. Lorenzo D'Agostino comes out for Brian Destin, and Lucas Meek comes out for Najib.
Atlanta on it on the right side. They give it up. Here comes Miami into the attacking half. They have to hit the brakes. Knock it back to Sarsar. Hall. Swings it over to the left side. Miami's changed their shape as well. Playing three in the back now. Hall over to the right to Sarsar. Sunderland almost gives it away. Throw Miami. Firmino wanted the throw. Didn't win the lobbying effort. Miami will get another throw. Boatwright throws it in. Hall in his own 18. Squares it over to the left. Miami just has to play this long under pressure. Cobb brings it down. Earns a throw on the far side near midfield.
Of all the people to play free safety, Noah Cobb is one of the best ones you could probably pick in that situation. That's really all Miami's had for most of the game tonight was trying to play over the top. But right now it's 3v1 back there.
Miami on it, spinning through the center circle. Sunderland spins back over to the right side now. Miami carrying it forward into the edge of the 18, into the attacking third. Cross. Orji clears. Follow-up attempt. Slammed into the bleachers behind the goal. Sliced that. Not a bad look from Caputo, but he sliced it off the outside of his right foot.
It sounded nice.
He hit it with some fury, that's for sure. Centeno back to Orji. Picked off by Sarsar. Caputo. Inside, heavy touch. Almost comes away with it to Mimi. Pass inside, Caputo. Loses out to Tuamasi. Ball spins away from Brennan and Tuamasi, but it's popped forward to Tiente. Lanza plays it inside to Tiente. Really good ball from Lanza. Tiente fouled. Destin commits the foul. Atlanta plays the free kick quickly and short. 49th minute. Morales back to Cobb. Lanza carrying forward. Brennan carrying backwards. Cobb bodied over the touchline, dribbled it out before that. It's going to be a Miami throw.
It's good pressure from Destin, bringing a little bit of physicality there, bringing a little bit of fire. I want to see how much Miami has in the tank to play with that raw emotion here to start the second half.
Miami on it. Kevin Gorbel also into the game. Miami got active with the sub cards at halftime.
Hey, don't burn a window doing it. You might as well go for it.
Sarsar up the right side. Boatwright cuts back inside of Centeno. Drops it back to Sarsar. Atlanta able to keep Miami in front of them most of the night. Gorbel. It's back to Finnerty. Long ball through, but that's easy for Cobb to deal with. He's under pressure now, has to clear. Gorbel wins the header. Tiente finds the second ball to Mimi in the center circle. Flicks it over to Nelson Orji. Backheel to Morales. Everybody's slipping. Morales got the touch he had to. Tuamasi swings it over to the left side. Centeno passes inside to Firmino. Back to Centeno. Back to Firmino. Orji. Firmino. All of them blonde. Morales swings it over to the right side to Tiente.
Tiente might be the only one who didn't get the memo.
Yeah, he missed out on that. Lanza carrying forward. Brennan down the right side. Brennan, 1v1 with Gorbel. Lanza, cross, back post, volley, blocked, follow-up volley over the bar from Tamimi.
That's a really good ball from Lanza, floating it to the back post. Kind of a helpless moment where Owen Finnerty's not going to be able to do anything except just kind of square up on it, and you just try and get your hips square on it. If you're Centeno, hit a rocket that gets deflected, and eventually Tamimi puts it over. But a dangerous moment for Atlanta United.
Goal kick played short. Gorbel up the left side. Destin able to bring this down in front of Cobb. Good work from Destin. He finds Sunderland. Out wide to the right side. Boatwright skips past two. Orji down after colliding with Centeno. Here comes Miami down the left. Cross in. Flicked on over the bar. Really good attack from Miami, and Nelson Orji hit on a sliding challenge from his own player, Centeno, and he's down and will need treatment.
That's a nasty challenge from Centeno as they're both going for the ball. Orji pulls out of the challenge. Centeno does not trying to get at the ball, ends up a bit of friendly fire. But, yeah, you mentioned it. It's Miami finding a bit of energy coming out of halftime. They've changed their shape. They've changed some guys out. They've got an idea. They know what they want to do. They finally get the chance to get in behind Atlanta United, and they're able to execute it and create a near opportunity.
Orchie sitting up now. He's going to need the trainer to come on. And I'm assuming under MLS Next Pro rules, he's going to have to be off the field for 3 minutes.
And for your sub, Jason, as well, it was Miles Perkovic who came off for Gorbel. Which Perkovic was running a little bit hot and was on what could we call it, an orange card?
I don't know if it had quite gotten to orange yet. It was edging in that direction. So Miami, just to try to catch up on what they're doing at this point, it's Hall, Sarsar, and Gorbel as your 3 defenders. Maybe a little bit of a 3-5-1 kind of a shape here. Destin is up top. And you have Sunderland, Caputo, Najib, and Boatwright still in. It would be nice if Opta updated the substitutions for Miami in the 54th minute. They have not.
It's nice to want things.
Yeah, this has been a recurring theme this season. Nelson Orji getting looked at by the Atlanta United 2 training staff.
I just heard
make a substitution.
I just heard someone from the Atlanta bench tell someone else to get ready.
I believe if the player has to come off and they have to be out of the game for 3 minutes, if you substitute somebody in, then you negate that. I would hope. Looks like the Atlanta United 2 substitutes are all working about the same pace so far.
Now, Nelson Orji cannot catch a break this season. Started the season with a bit of a knock, wasn't able to get 100% healthy when he did. He came in at a point where Efrain Morales and Noah Cobb had formed a really good partnership in center back, and Orji's been able to find his minutes and perform, but you hate to see him pick up another knock here.
Hopefully this is minor. Orji off over the touchline, 10v10 right now. 55th minute, 1-0 Atlanta. Eric Centeno with the goal. And Centeno now playing some emergency left back today.
You pull out whatever it takes to keep the shape. We've seen teams get punished like that before, where you don't reset your shape when you go down a man because of injury and you get punished for it.
Cobb goes along down the middle. Miami handles that well with Gorbel winning the header. Atlanta preparing a substitution you would expect for Orji. Boatwright at midfield, inside to Sunderland, back to Sarsar. Tyler Hall tries to split. He does. Finds Najib. Najib down the left side. Flag is up. That was an opportunity for Miami at 10v10 to try to make something out of it. They do not.
And Nelson Orji, the way he's walking off, looks like he is going to be done for the night.
David Mejia is going to check in for Atlanta. Would not expect Mejia to play left back, so we'll see how Steve Cook handles that. Centeno might just stay at left back now. Morales carrying forward to Firmino. Back to Efrain, back to Nicholas Firmino. Firmino up the left side, overhits the pass for Centeno. And Centeno knocks it away. He's going to get a yellow card.
Just a bit silly to knock that ball away and put yourself on a yellow card. It wasn't like he kicked it into row H.
It's still a yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Mejia on for Orji. We're going to see how they shape things up now. Mejia coming over to the left. Centeno will stay at left back. Mejia will play in front of him.
I just always prefer you save those moments for a CONCACAF style where you can put it out of the stadium in the 98th minute.
Oh, no, 100%. But it doesn't matter how far you kick it away. It's still a yellow. A little early for Centeno to pick that one up, especially as he's moving to fullback now. Boatwright drops it back to Sarsar. Miami in their own defensive third. On the ball with their goalkeeper, Owen Finnerty. Across to Kevin Gorbel. Up the left side, Cisak. Back to Gorbel. Gorbel fouled as he played it long. Gorbel, the 18-year-old, only played 30 minutes coming into this one. He's going to surpass that tonight. Atlanta wins the long ball down the middle, but they can't control the second ball, and Miami has an attacking half the row down the left.
Love to see Atlanta get a foot on the ball and keep it on the ball and able to slow things down here. Right now, Miami feeling good despite being down a man.
Hall squares it to the right to Sarsar. Up the right side to Boatwright. Boatwright tries to dribble past Centeno. Fails to do so. Wanted a handball, didn't get it. Tiente across to Noah Cobb.
Well, we saw Atlanta attack Abadia and get that second yellow on him, and you mentioned Centeno having to drop back to the fullback position. Got to imagine that Miami's going to try and attack him in a similar way.
Boatwright has been lobbying at times for things tonight. See if he continues to do that on Eric Centeno. Noah Cobb up the right side. Lanza plays that through everyone. Tamimi is unable to get a touch. Finnerty controls it at the top of his own 18.
Miami dropped up a 5 in the back in that moment. It's a really tightly knit 5 in the back, too. It was going to take a picture-perfect ball to split that line.
Yeah, the wing-backs will drop back when under pressure. They want to get them forward. They're unable to do it here. Turnover, cross, overhit.
There's nobody there outside of the front post, and Lanza overcooks it. It's not going to get to the front post, and there was nobody there.
Sarsar back to Finnerty. Finnerty, long diagonal up the left side, picked off. Here comes Lanza. Can he get to the second ball? No, but he earns a throw. Brennan will take the throw after the second ball is removed from the pitch in the 60th minute.
And another sub getting ready for Atlanta United.
Lanza will take the throw. We're about to see for the first time in 14 months Osvaldo Alonso. 30 minutes must have been the magic number on the card. Miami in possession.
If you want a rare item in your life, try and find an Ozzie Alonso number 85 jersey.
This might be the only one ever made. Eric Centeno controls it in his own half, spins around to the left, nothing doing, drops it back to Morales. Square to Cobb. Forward to Twumasi, back to Reyes. Up the left side to Centeno. Centeno defended by Sunderland, plays it back to Tiente, finds Tamimi in the center circle. Tamimi boxed in, plays it back to Morales. 11-10, Atlanta United 2 has the man advantage and the 1-goal advantage. Big switch to Lanza. Lanza dribbling forward, finds Tamimi. Tamimi lays it off to Centeno. Into the attacking third now, Nicholas Firmino. Curling back to the right, down the left to Centeno. Back to Firmino. Firmino on his right foot, cutting across. Plays it to Twumasi. Gives it back to Centeno. Up the left side to Mejia. David Mejia, cross. Headed away by Gorbel. Headed away further by Najib. Cobb controls it. Lanza on it on the right side. Firmino once again. Passes forward to Tamimi, edge of the 18. Spins back around to his left. Gives it back to Nick. Back to Lanza. Inside to Twumasi. Twumasi to Firmino. Out wide to Brennan. In the attacking third. Now back. Lanza. Twumasi. Spins to his left. All the way across to Eric Centeno. Passes forward to Mejia. Mejia goes for the back heel. It's blocked. Atlanta's got to defend now. Boatwright has to pull it back. Good work to track back by Eric Centeno. Sarsar back to Finnerty. Under pressure from Tiente. Passes through the middle to Najib. Good work from Finnerty under pressure.
Really impressed with Finnerty in possession tonight.
Morales wins the 50-50 at midfield. Centeno gives it back to Efrain Morales. Tumasi spins to the right. Lanza. Back to Cobb. Osvaldo Alonso's been waiting for 2 minutes to come in. Atlanta United, too, has had the ball for about 1 minute 58 of that. Morales. Back across to Cobb. Firmino chips this down the right side. Brennan heads it forward to himself, but too much on it. Goal kick.
Now we'll see who gets sacrificed for the number 85.
It's going to be Tamimi. That'll move Firmino up top. A lot of hard work for Tamimi, but he hasn't seen a ton of the ball tonight.
No, he got a good shot on goal early in the game that was saved that ends up leading to the goal for Eric Centeno. He was opportunistic with his opportunity there. It's just a really good save from Owen Finnerty.
Osvaldo Alonso. First game for Atlanta United, 2. Fifth game for an Atlanta United team. Was able to play 4 last season before being injured at DC United. He'll slot into the holding midfield along with Kofi Tuamasi. Tony Tiente will step up just a little bit higher in that midfield trio. Alonso's been training fully for a few weeks with Atlanta United's first team. This is his first match action. This was a big step in his recovery, according to Gonzalo Pineda, who is here tonight watching. Miami plays this into the 18. Battle for it. Reyes gets there in front of Destin, who was able to bounce off of Morales.
Bit of heart and throat moment there if you're Atlanta United, too, where you've got a defender, an attacker, and a goalkeeper all rushing at the ball. Nobody got hurt, thankfully, and looks like Reyes was grabbing his knee for maybe a second.
Yeah, I think it's more of just the way he hit the ground. I don't think he was hit by Destin.
No, I don't think so either. Maybe just jammed his knee into the soft dirt a bit.
Alonso on it, getting some touches, swings it over to the left side to Centeno.
Has to feel really good getting the first touch on the ball after this much time before you get into game action and playing again.
Alonso curls around to the right, gives it back to Firmino. Back to Morales, back to Ozzy. Alonso finds Tuamasi. Back to Cobb. Morales. Firmino, back to Morales. Up the line to Centeno. Inside to Tiente. Now Firmino. Turns into the attacking third. Centeno down the left side. Eric Centeno, step overs, cuts back into the right. Cross, takes a deflection off Firmino. Give it back to Firmino. On the end line. Earns a corner.
What a nice sequence from Atlanta as they get down the left-hand side. They're patient. They finally find what they're comfortable with. Centeno triggers it with a little 1-2 down the left. Eventually get inside the box. Nice little combination play. Goes out for a corner. Well defended at the very end from Miami to block the little scoop pass.
66th minute. David Mejia to take the in-swinging corner from the near side. Delivers near post. Finnerty gets hands to it, punches it out to the top of the 18 where it's cleared.
Brave goalkeeping from Finnerty. He's been really good this evening.
Cobb passes forward to Osvaldo Alonso. Alonso down the left flank to Mejia. Mejia pulls it back. Good pass inside to Centeno. Into the 18. Eric Centeno wants to get to the right foot. Lays it off for Firmino over to the right side. Firmino forward to Tiente. Back to Firmino. Firmino! Goal! 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 Nicholas Firmino, 6th of the year. Atlanta United 2. 2-0 lead tonight.
Well, what do you want to say about that? That's absolutely beautiful from Atlanta United 2, recycling the set piece. And then a little 1-2-3 in the box. Nice soft touches, get it into Firmino, and you break Miami the way we talked about coming back from halftime. You don't give them any hope. Now you put a 2-goal cushion on yourself, up a man, and this is a great job of protecting that lead and now building on it, learning from mistakes early in the season.
You know it's a good goal and a meaningful goal when the goalkeeper sprints 100 yards to join the celebration. Vicente Reyes did that. Nicholas Firmino still dancing. Goal number 6 of the year. Tiente picks up an assist on that one as well. His first of the year. And Atlanta United 2, 4 goals in their last 2 games, and they have not conceded here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in the last 2, leading 2-0.
This place becoming a bit of a fortress in the year 2023 for this club.
Miami back on it, top of their own 18. Tyler Hall. Over to the left to Gorbel. Gorbel, long ball. Cobb's got it marked. Plays it back to Reyes. Destin chasing. Morales able to turn. Swung over to the left side to Eric Centeno. Up the flank to Mejia. Mejia, good work on the dribble. Great ball to Firmino. Firmino in behind. Firmino into the 18. Firmino, goal, goal, goal! Number 2 of the night. Number 7 on the year. Number 3 for Atlanta. And they are routing Miami 3-0.
So we talk all the time, Jason, about you play to the whistle. At least 2 Miami defenders thought he was off, and he may have been. But they hesitated on their step. They looked back at the AR, raised the hand, and then you don't have help closing down Nicholas Firmino, and you want to have help closing down Nicholas Firmino, I promise you.
Nicholas Firmino off the inside of the near post. It had been a minute since Nick had found the back of the net. 2 in quick succession. Miami very upset with the no call there. Tyler Hall went across to yell at the AR. Referee told all of Miami's players to cut it out. 3-0, Atlanta United 2.
It goes without saying we don't have VAR in MLS Next Pro. That's one that, you'll look at, and it's really close, but the flag stays down, and until you hear that whistle, if you're defending, you've got to play all the way through.
Good work on the dribble by Mejia to create that. He'll pick up the assist. I think a defender on the far side is what kept Firmino on. It wasn't the one closest to him.
I think you're right.
Finnerty passes forward to Caputo. He's under pressure from Firmino and Mejia. Back to Finnerty. Tiente pressuring now. Gorbel passes forward dangerously. Bailed out with a foul. Hall pushed from behind by Mejia.
It's 3-0 and there's 20 minutes left. Atlanta's looking to have a fun night at this point.
Looking to make some substitutions as well. We'll see what's coming here in just a bit. Gorbel back to Finnerty. Pass forward to Caputo. Sunderland back to Gorbel. Sunderland. Najib picked off momentarily, but Najib finds the second ball.
So it's appropriate that it works this way for Firmino tonight. Last time he scored was against Chicago Fire 2, where he had a brace.
Sunderland with the big switch. Cisak inside, Boatwright gives it back to Cisak. Cross, back post. Nobody's there except for Vicente Reyes.
Atlanta's going again. Miami gets forward like that, and look, you respect the way they're going to go for it, the way Miami's going to go for it. They're not going to shut up shop here, but on those moments when Vicente Reyes is able to distribute the ball out, it gets dangerous for him again.
Mejia slicing and dicing down the left side. It's back to Firmino and across to Twumasi. Now Brennan. Looks like we're going to see a debut here shortly with Rocket Rita Rita coming in. Alonso passes forward to Mejia. Tiente. Firmino. Middle third possession for Atlanta. Alonso. First time ball across to Twumasi. Lanza. Dribbling inside, outside of the foot pass. Misplayed initially by Sarsar, but he puts it back to Finnerty.
How good has this midfield been tonight for Atlanta United, too? They've basically eliminated Miami's ability to play through them for anything resembling consistency, but they've been so good on the ball and build-up.
Sunderland, good switch of play over to the left side. Najib. Najib dribbling through the middle, recovered by Twumasi. Alonso lays it off to Tiente. Alonso taking up that leadership role that you're so accustomed to seeing him do. Told everybody to calm it down just a little bit. Firmino. Back to Alonso. Back to Firmino. Back to Alonso. Up the left side to Centeno. Firmino. Alonso. Swings it over to the right side to Noah Cobb. Cobb back to Morales. 73rd minute now. 3-0 Atlanta United 2. Centeno. Alonso back to Centeno. Morales. Tiente back to Morales. Back inside their own half, Atlanta.
Here comes Miami bringing pressure.
Reyes. Morales. Centeno on the left. Firmino. Back to Centeno. Back to Firmino. Tries to flick it forward. Intercepted by Boatwright. Mejia finds the second ball. Draws the foul. Substitutions coming for Atlanta. 3 of them. Alan Carlton, Rocket Rita, and Remy Okunlola, 2 debuts tonight. Twumasi leaving. Alan Carlton in. Sean Lanza's day is done. A good start for him. Okunlola will replace him. And Rocket Rita on for Luke Brennan.
It's a big moment for Rocket Rita getting in. It's a great kind of game where you can make these kind of moves. You've pretty much killed the game off. And it's a really fun chance to let a kid get out there and play his first game in such a fun environment.
Centeno down the left side for Mejia. Pass inside for Centeno. Centeno able to spin around into the 18. Centeno near post shot blocked. Corner.
Centeno wanted that all for himself. He went near post, tried to go upper 90, past the keeper's ear. It's pushed out for a corner.
You go spin cycle on the edge of the 18. Yeah, you have every right to go for the green light. Mejia will take the corner from the near side. Remy Okunlola at right back, Carlton in the midfield, and Rita on the right side. 75th minute in-swinger from David Mejia. Pushing inside the 18-yard box, whistle blown by a referee, Sean Tahini, and we've got maybe some shenanigans. Efrain Morales involved in said shenanigans. Lots of pointing. Lots of gesturing.
Looked like Sunderland getting into a bit verbally there with Luke Brennan.
Morales,
excuse me.
He's a little taller.
Only slightly. Still
similar hair, though.
Still not somebody I'm trying to square up with.
No. Neither one of them.
For different reasons. Luke Brennan is a bit smaller, but he's scrappy. But Efrain Morales is every bit of 6'3", and he's pretty well put together. I don't really want to get into a scrap with him.
That's good work by their referee, Tahini, to get Morales away from the whole situation, calm everything down.
Tony Tiente as well, putting a...
Mejia delivers back post, headed over the bar by Firmino.
It's Tony Tiente who put his shoulder into Morales to kind of get him away. Don't let him do anything stupid with 15 minutes left.
No need with the lead. And no more subs to pull him out of the game either. Finnerty. Hall. Over to the right side. Sarsar. Plays it up the right flank. Destin jousting with Morales. And Efrain Morales comes away with it. Cobb. Squares to his left to Morales. Into the middle third on the left side. Eric Centeno passes forward to Firmino. Mejia. Centeno. Mejia. Centeno. Centeno chops it back. Dribbles past. Gets the bounce off a Boatwright. Here comes Centeno. Down the left side to Firmino. Nicholas Firmino in the corner. Back to Centeno. Back to Firmino up against the touchline. Is that going to be a corner? Yes, it is.
Just such patience from Atlanta, waiting for Miami to step, waiting for Miami to make a move, and then just going around them so often.
Mejia jogging over to take it. Alonso giving the short corner possibility. Miami's onto it.
Atlanta's going to line up a goal opportunity for Ozzie Alonso off a short corner, please.
Carlton funnels around to give the short corner option. Back to Alonso. Alonso, 25 yards from goal, pulls it down. Mejia chops it back to the right foot. Cross, headed away. Centeno, long-range shot wide.
This entire stadium wanted Ozzie Alonso to shoot that more than they've wanted anything tonight.
One of the cool things coming into this, once it was announced yesterday that Osvaldo Alonso would be part of the game day squad, David Mejia spent some time living in the Seattle area when he was very young. I'm talking like 7 years old. And a picture of Mejia and Alonso after Seattle Sounders training with 7-year-old David Mejia. Very, very cool. Got to be a big moment for him. Really thankful his dad shared that. Alonso on it to Mejia. Down the left side. Cuts back to Firmino. Corner of the 18. Flips it into the 18 to Carlton. Carlton cuts back. Allen Carlton squares it across. Rita can't control. Destin on it for Miami, dribbling forward. Has to pull it back because of Allen Carlton's defense. Sunderland. Caputo. Squares over to the left. Cisak. Pass picked off by Remy Okunlola. Here comes Remy into the attacking third. Remy squares it across. Firmino lays it off to Mejia. Shot! Goal! 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 David Mejia! Fourth of the night for Atlanta United 2. Assist to Firmino. Great work by Remy Okunlola. And it's 4-0.
I don't think anyone's having more fun right now than Vicente Reyes, who has had to make multiple wind sprints the length of the field, and that time slides into it. Man, you talk about it. Okunlola comes into this game and just reads the play like a book, picks it off, and then just holds down the sprint button the whole way, plays it into the box. It's really unselfish from Firmino, who's sitting on a hat trick, could try and pull the trigger there. Instead, lays it off to Mejia, who does not miss.
What a year for Remy Okunlola. He's been part of the Atlanta United Academy for quite a while, committed to Clemson, played in the fall with the Academy, went back and played his 1 year in high school at Brookwood this spring, was the 6A Player of the Year in the state, played up top with that team, showed his attacking ability right there, jumping into the passing lane, driving forward, great cross. Firmino, unselfish to play Mejia. And Atlanta United 2 leading 4-0, maybe looking for more. Here comes Sarsar picking it off of Mejia's boots. Najib lays it off, played it short. Carlton came away with it. Carlton and Firmino got in each other's way. Miami back on it.
They both had the right idea to step and pressure, and they both picked it off and then ran into each other.
Boatwright has to pull this back. Caputo. Over to the left side. Gorbel. Inside to Caputo. Gorbel on it in his own half. Thought about the long ball. Decided against it. Finnerty. Owen Finnerty. Long down the left side over everyone's head. Atlanta throw. A little bit of a reward here for Okunlola, someone who is headed to Clemson very, very soon. We're starting to see some of the longtime Academy players kind of say their goodbyes. Matthew Brick had his last training session with the Twos this week before he heads to Clemson, where he'll be a teammate of Remy Okunlola. Remy gets this opportunity, his debut with the Twos tonight. And he's someone to keep an eye on. You might see him come back into the Atlanta United fold. Tiente fouled on the far side. Be a free kick for Atlanta in the 82nd minute.
Well, you certainly have precedent for a number of players who've gone off to college, and some kids just need that. Everyone develops differently. Some guys are ready coming out of the academy to hit the ground running. Other guys, they need to go to college. They need to experience that level to hit the growth, to have the right person whispering in their ear to play games and to find that before they unlock what they can be.
Atlanta's still on it in their own half. I think the depth chart has an effect on that as well. And at right back right now with Brooks Lennon and Ronald Hernandez with Atlanta United's first team, that's a pretty stacked deck against a right back coming in from the academy. So a good opportunity for Okunlola to go to one of the top programs in the country just up the road at Clemson and continue to hone his craft. Noah Cobb dribbling forward. Rocket Rita spins around to the left. Plays it inside to Firmino. Firmino dancing past Miami defenders. Morales back to Tiente. Tiente inside to Carlton. Cuts it back to the left to Tiente. Further to the left to Firmino. Carlton. Firmino. Carlton. Firmino. Mejia. Centeno overhead. Good look there. Working the triangles, sometimes turn into a rhombus. I know my shapes. Finnerty. Through the middle to Caputo. Defended tightly by Alonso. Caputo has to go back to Finnerty. Carlton chasing. Firmino chasing. Sarsar out wide on the right.
I'm struggling with the cruelty of Miami in the attack now.
Boatwright heads it inside to Najib. Najib, big switch over to the left side to Cisak. Cisak inside to Najib. Najib, long-range shot, high and wide.
Struggling with the cruelty of playing your MLS Next Pro game and having everything really kind of go against you as it has for Miami. And then Ozzie Alonso steps into the game to mark you for 30 minutes.
There's that.
It's a tough hand to draw on a Sunday evening.
Not an easy one to deal with. Ozzie Alonso, one of the best defensive midfielders to ever play in Major League Soccer. 4 games with Atlanta United last year. They were unbeaten in those 4 games. See how long it takes him to get back to contributing at the first team level. Tiente on and inside his own half. 84th minute, almost 85th. Cobb. Back to Reyes. Tiente. Now wide to the left to Centeno. Inside to Tiente. Tiente dribbles past 2. Tripped up, foul, free kick.
That's a slight pull. It's a pull, though, to slow him down. A spike of the ball for good measure.
Lawson Sunderland, not a very happy camper these days.
Yeah, it's understandable as a sub coming in for Miami. So that'll be Sunderland's last action of the night.
Might be for the best. Alejandro Flores checking in. 85th minute. Sunderland getting yelled at by the kids in attendance on his way out. Cobb squares it over to the right side to Okunlola. Inside to Alonso. Back to Cobb. Up the right flank. Okunlola is in an offside position. Free kick, Miami.
Oh, he stopped because he knew he was offside and then just kind of put the gas pedal down anyway. Might as well go for it.
He's kind of like, I will find out if I'm offside. I think I'm offside. He was.
There's only one way to know for sure.
Hall plays it up the left side. Cisak pass inside. Alonso picks it off. Rita knocks it forward. Carlton, Firmino, back to Rocket. Rocket brings it down. Rita into the 18. Rocket Rita with a shot to the far post wide.
Rocket Rita wants in on the action this evening. Nice work to create a little bit of space and just pushes it maybe 2 feet wide of the far post.
Miami goal kick short. Boatwright. Caputo. Boatwright. Back to Flores. Flores with a really good ball down the middle. Reyes outside of his 18. Tries to dribble past Destin. Reyes is going to earn the throw. Or actually, he's not. It came off of him. Reyes has got to retreat.
He kicked the ball about 30 feet away, though, casually, so that helps.
That does help a little bit. Boatwright. Mejia knocks it out for another throw. 87th minute, 4-0 Atlanta United 2. Destin wants to turn.
Swarmed by bodies.
4-0. Atlanta United wants the clean sheet, though. Hall across. Gorbel. Atlanta comes away with it. Tiente. Firmino offside. Firmino thought he had timed that. Don't think he saw the defenders behind him that had stepped up. Miami free kick.
And Remy just picked up a yellow, I believe.
Actually, it's brought way back. It wasn't offside. It was brought back for something else. Free kick, Miami. 10 yards inside the attacking half. Gorbel. Delivers into the 18. Back post over the head of Boatwright. Goal kick.
Boatwright had started to kind of drift a couple steps away from the mass of humanity.
Okunlola does get that yellow card that Jarrett spotted.
Now Reyes being asked to speed things up after he goes to have a drink, grab a towel, maybe check his messages.
Morales inside his own 18, up the left side to Centeno. Firmino back to Centeno. Firmino dumped to the ground, foul called. Centeno got clipped as well. 89th minute. Maybe not much of a need for stoppage time this evening.
This might be one of those nights where you cut the stop. Even though there have been multiple stoppages for goals and subs, maybe a night where you just play a minute of stoppage time and go home.
Centeno knocked to the ground by Sarsar, and that's the second time in quick succession. He'll get a yellow. He doesn't like it. Makes his feelings clear.
Yeah, this might be one. Carlton. Alan Carlton's getting a yellow?
Carlton got a yellow. I think for just
kicking the ball because he wanted to play.
Long. Yeah, I don't necessarily know.
I don't know how that's really like the traditional way we view of kicking the ball away. That's one of those where I think he was trying to play it.
Maybe words were said, possibly too.
Maybe.
Can't hear that part of it. Morales down the left, brought down by Boatwright. Flores inside to Caputo, center circle. Caputo spinning around to the left, back to the right. Tiente there to lock him up. Boatwright does get it on the pass forward. Over the top for Destin. Nice ball. Skips away from Destin into Reyes.
Had a couple of good ideas and near misses for Miami in the last few minutes as they're pushing for it.
Morales under pressure, inside to Centeno. Down the left side, over the head of Firmino. Good look to get out of that pressure by Centeno. Doesn't come off. Sarsar throws it in. Najib gives it back to him. Back to Najib, further back to Hall. Just a few seconds remaining in regulation. Gorbel squares it back to the right to Hall. Sarsar. Caputo. Into the attacking half now. Najib, 4 minutes of stoppage time.
I almost feel like that's a little bit. I know there's been 4 minutes worth of stoppages in the second half, but considering the score and the temperature of the game, one of those where I kind of wish you just had a little bit less. Let's just get everybody out of here in one piece.
Cobb forward to Carlton. Carlton in the middle third. Goes down, pops back up, loses possession. Gorbel all the way back to Finnerty. Carlton pressuring. Finnerty. Long ball up the right side. There's nobody home except for Efrain Morales. Morales passes inside to Alonso. Good first touch from Alonso around Najib.
It's just mean.
Okunlola. Okunlola wants to spin back to his right. He does. Can't find Rita with the pass. Alonso steps in front of Najib. Knocks it back down the right side. Rita battling. Gorbel knocks it out. Good pressure from Rocket Rita.
He's jumped into the game, and I know the state of the game is different from, like a really tight, close game where, you might be 1-0 game or, 2-1 game, and it's 11v11. But Rocket Rita's hitting the ground and trying to impact the game and taking the fight to whoever is in front of him.
Throw in, Okunlola, forward to Rita. Can't turn the corner. It's a Miami throw. Not long left in this one. 4-0 Atlanta United 2. They want to keep the clean sheet, and if they get to add a fifth, they're not going to mind. Alonso forward to Rita. Rocket squares it inside to Tiente. Tiente, long-range shot. Finnerty was hoping that was going to continue to slice wide, and it did.
I don't know if he didn't catch it, if Finnerty didn't see it clean off, but yeah, the way he froze, just you're not going to get to it, so you're just going to hope and wish.
Flores flicks it inside. Alonso seen that play before and wins it back. Ozzy Alonso spins it over to the right side now. Remy Okunlola. Did not expect to have Okunlola and Alonso on the field together this season. That has happened here in MLS Next Pro, Matchday 11.
You can update your bingo card accordingly. We can add something weird next week, too.
That's on a whole different bingo card. Firmino, Mejia, Centeno at midfield. Firmino, back to Morales, back to Reyes, across to Cobb. Cobb passes forward to Alonso. Ozzy Alonso down the right side. What a ball to Rocket Rita who's onside. Rita cross. Mejia. First time. Goal! David Mejia, second of the night. Rocket Rita with his first ever assist at this level. And Osvaldo Alonso started the whole sequence with an amazing ball down the right side to Rita. 5-0.
What a ball from Ozzy. What a run from Rocket Rita. We talked about he's been taking the fight to whoever is in front of him. Right there, the only thing in front of him was the green grass. He looks up. He doesn't panic in the moment, has his head up, watching, and it's a great run from David Mejia into the open space. A picture-perfect ball to Mejia where he can get his foot on it, put it away.
Great finish, first time for Mejia. He's got his first 2 goals of the season tonight. Firmino's got 2 goals tonight. Tyler Hall is done. He tried to get back to deal with Mejia. Cramping up. He's down on his back inside the 18. I wonder if Tahini might just blow the final whistle here.
Yeah, and I don't blame Hall for being done. These defenders have done a lot of work for Miami this evening, and just, it might be time.
Sorry, it's Sarsar, I believe. Back underway. Flores.
We're going to keep playing.
Hall. And there is your final whistle. 5-0 Atlanta United 2. What a performance. They forced the red card early. They're able to take advantage of that. Luke Brennan contributing in that aspect in a big way. Nick Firmino with 2 goals. David Mejia with 2 goals. You get debuts for Remy Okunlola and Rocket Rita, and a debut in 2023 for Osvaldo Alonso. So many different storylines to dig into. Jon Nelson and Jarrett Smith will take you through the post-game and try to put a bow on all of this tonight. 5-0 for Atlanta United 2, and a big win tonight in Matchday 11 in MLS Next Pro. We'll be right back on the SDH Network right after this.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. 5-0 the final. Atlanta United 2 over Inter Miami 2. Dominant performance by the home side after the 34th minute red card to Cesar Abadia. 1-0 at the break. 2 by Firmino in 3 minutes. Made it 3-0. David Mejia in the 79th made it 4. Mejia at 90-plus made it 5. 3 stars for the match today. Your third star is Luke Brennan for causing Inter Miami to go down to 10. Your second star, and this was kind of the debate as Jarrett Smith joins in. The second star, David Mejia, for getting his first 2 of the year. Your number 1 star of the night, Nicholas Firmino, with his brace. Now he has goals 6 and 7 on the season. And the large Captain America shield dinner plate goes to Ozzie Alonso, honorable mention tonight, for coming out for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mentioned it during the game. It's kind of like it's a certain level of hell to put these kids in, because it's MLS Next Pro, man, and you got a bunch of kids out here who are playing like, man, it's Twomasi, who's been a really good 6 this year. It's Tony Tiente. They're going to shift up the field. And Atlanta has decided, as you are down a man, and
tell you what,
you are chasing the game.
We're going to dial it up a little bit.
Yeah, we're just going to bring in Ozzie Alonso, one of the best
in the
history of this league, of MLS, and we're just going to put you in a different kind of hell.
Yes.
It was very cool to see Ozzie come out here, play, brought composure, brought leadership to this team. He is all over the place, just shaking hands, kissing babies.
I want to know how I get one of those 85 jerseys. That's what I want.
Well, look, I don't know how many games he plays with Atlanta United 2, but that might be one of the only ones ever made. You might have to get him custom after that. It's a really cool moment, though, for the folks to come out here tonight and see Ozzie Alonso get out there. And it's really cool for Ozzie. His family is here as well, for all of them to be involved in this, where he's able to come out here and play as he's heading back to sign even more things.
Oh, yeah.
God bless him. Or he's able to come out here and play for the first time in over a calendar year and work on his rehabilitation to play MLS ball again for Atlanta United. A really cool moment for him and a great game for him to do it in, because, look, the Twos just basically started throwing hammers at Miami early in the game and kept them going for 90-plus.
We'll go through the numbers here, the stats by the end of the night on a 5-0 win. XG, for those of you that dig that kind of stuff, 1.67 to 0.17 by the end of the night. 15 shots on the night for Atlanta United, 2 only 5 for Inter Miami 2. 6 on target for Atlanta United 2, 1 for the visitors, 11 inside the 18 compared to 2. Touches inside the opposition, 18, 21 to 9. Final third entries about even, 30 to 28 for the visitors. Flag went up twice for each side. Possession, 56-44, even as things went down to 10 men. Passing accuracy, 90% for Atlanta United 2, 84% for the visitors. Crosses, 12-7 for Atlanta United 2, 3-2 corners 1. That was 2-0 at the break in favor of the visitors. In general, in your duels, 63 duels on the night, 57-43 the percentages for Atlanta United winning. Let's see, 30, I'm going to try to do math here. 37, looks like 37 of 63 duels on the night for Atlanta United 2. You had 6 out of 12 won in the air. Atlanta United 2, 4 times they won possession in the final third. 3 of those came from Eric Centeno, by the way, as Inter Miami 2 only did that twice on the night. Defensive actions, 9-8 in tackles. Inter Miami 2 leading that category. They won 2/3 of those. Atlanta United 2 won 7 of the 8 that they engaged in. Interceptions, 10-9 to the visitors. 20 fouls on the night for Inter Miami 2. 9 for Atlanta United. The 2 yellow cards that remained after the red for Abadia, and 1 for Alan Carlton, the yellow there.
He does technically kick the ball away.
Yeah, he does.
If we're going to do the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law,
correct,
he does in fact kick the ball away.
Yeah.
It's after the foul, and then it's like, I think he I think he had made up his mind before the whistle blew that he was going to kick that ball into the next county to try and hit the big switch to go forward because, look, Atlanta wanted more goals. Atlanta decided tonight's a night where violence is on the menu.
Yes.
And he gets the yellow card there. It doesn't hurt anything at that point. I think he was just telling the official after the game that, I was just trying to play it quick because I wasn't sure if you would call the foul. So it happens, man.
And if it's me, I'm the generous kind of official scorer.
Yeah.
I'm giving Remy Okunlola the hockey assist on goal number 4.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, it's the guys, it's one of his last appearances, one of his last times hanging out with all the guys, You give him the hockey assist on goal number 4, so Nicholas Firmino 2 goals and an assist on the night, and then Rocket Rita with the assist. Ozzy Alonso should get the hockey assist on that one for starting that play for goal 5.
Yeah, he should. And you talk about the Okunlola one, he reads the play so well because it's a soft pass. It's a little bit under hit on the ball down the attacking left-hand side. He reads it coming from the right back, picks it off, and then there is just green acres in front of him. And he just puts on, for the FIFA of you out there, he holds down the sprint button and is just flicking the right stick, just hitting heavy touches and chasing it down, gets it over into the box. And look, that one, the unselfishness when Firmino does stick out to me because it would have been a tough finish for Firmino. There was a man on him. He could have gone for his hat trick. Instead, he makes the extra pass, gives it over to Mejia. Mejia puts it into the back of the net. And, yeah, man, I mean, it's just one of those games where, like, that unselfishness was there, and you loved to see it. You loved to see just about everything that happened tonight for this club.
After tonight, 4 of the next 5 are on the road. Technically, 5 of the next 6 are on the road for Atlanta United 2. They go to Philadelphia Union 2 at the end of the week. Then they turn around. That's the beginning of 3 matches in a 9-day period. They are in Chester to take on Philadelphia Union 2. They're in Columbus on the 15th to take on Crew. Then they go to York Lions Stadium at York University on the 18th to take on Toronto FC 2 before coming back here on Sunday, June 25th to take on NYCFC at 7:30. That's the next time that you'll see Atlanta United 2 here at the Fraction. It's flipped for Inter Miami 2 and Federico Higuain, who's probably going to have a lot of folks staring at a lot of film and doing a lot of running coming in the next week. The next one for them is on June 8th, and 4 of their next 5 are at DRVP&K in Fort Lauderdale. They've got Cincinnati coming in, FC Cincinnati 2 on the 8th. Then a quick turn as Toronto FC 2 visits on the 11th. They get to wait a week before they go see Jack Collison in Huntsville at Hunt City. More on them in a bit. And then 2 matches in a week at home in Fort Lauderdale. Red Bulls 2 on July 2, Revs 2 on July 9. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Inter Miami, with Inter Miami 2 working their way forward after tonight. It's their 4th loss in a row. They'd only given up 3 goals in the last 3 games. They give up 5 tonight, going a man down. After tonight, Atlanta United 2 improves to 5-4-3-1, 19 points, 1 point behind Crew, second in the Central Division. Inter Miami 2 drops to 3-8-1 after their first 12 matches, 10 points. They are now 6th in the Central Division as they work their way forward. Couple of notes about what's going on right now. I'll give you the updates on the scores that happened today. Once again, all your finals from Sunday. Fire beat Crew 4-2. FC Cincinnati beat Philadelphia Union 2-1 at Northern Kentucky. The Chaos at Joe Davis. That's going to be a fun environment.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and there's going to come a time when you have that many rocket scientists in one place, that stadium is going to actually move at some point, whether it is meant to or not. Because as someone once told me, anything can move with enough propulsion behind it.
And we're seeing that at Joe Davis with Huntsville City Football Club. Had a 3-0 lead, lose 4-3 to NYCFC 2 at Joe Davis earlier today.
Blindingly drunk game of the week.
No doubt. Red Bulls 2 at Montclair, 4-1 winners over New England Revolution. Colorado Rapids 2 set a record in MLS Next Pro. They come back with a goal at 90+4 to tie San Jose Earthquakes 2. Then they win 4-2 on PKs. So they now have set the MLS Next Pro record at 11 matches matches unbeaten. New record with Colorado Rapids 2 winning in PKs tonight, getting the extra point against San Jose Earthquakes. The 5-0 win here. 2 other games in progress. You can catch both of them on MLS Season Pass. 15 minutes to go. TFC 2 leading OCB 3-0, and that is at York Lions Stadium on the campus of York University. In this match, recapping the scoring, it was Rashawn Walks scoring in the 33rd minute. 2 minutes later, Marcus Simmer-Mancic scores to make it 2-0 for Toronto FC 2, and then Batiste scores in the 71st minute. 5 minutes ago in real time, so 15 to go. TFC 2 is leading Orlando City B by the score of 3-0. Then the later game, it's 34th minute. They're winding up the first half, and North Texas SC at Choctaw is hosting Los Dos. That one is goalless. You can catch once again both of those matches ongoing on MLS Season Pass. So final thoughts from you here tonight from the Fraction.
A fantastic performance, some really cool moments. We talked about Ozzy. We talked about Okinola getting in there before he goes off to college. Two really cool moments. A moment that you're not going to really see. You might see on the socials later. But Ozzy, after he's finished signing everything, walking out to the training staff with his family, really emotional moment, big heartfelt hug. And we've seen this with a number of players. When it takes you that long to come back from something in any sport, not just out here, and John, I know you've seen it in other sports, when it takes you that long to come back from something, it gets really personal, and these guys build these relationships with the physios to get back in there. They're sharing things emotionally to get back to where they want to be, and they work closely together for so long to see it pay off, to get back out there, to play a game, to have a successful night. I think it means a lot for both of them out there, not just for Ozzy, but for the training staff that's poured their blood, sweat, and tears into his recovery as well. And
it's great to see him out here for just under 30 minutes tonight as he's getting back to full song for Atlanta United. And the faith that Gonzalo Pineda and the organization have had in Ozzy, bringing him in here in the first place. He was locked down in the 4 matches that he was a part of the first team, and it was averaging 2 points a game in those 4 matches. He gets injured. 14 months later, Ozzy Alonso shows up as number 85 in your program tonight, and I still want that jersey. We got to figure out how to get that. So.
You might have to custom make it unless you want to sneak in.
Well, I think we know some folks. We might be able to get some folks to make it.
You might keep that jersey, man.
We'll get a custom made. Absolutely. So we need to find a way to get an 85 Alonso made, and we can put that in the frame. And add that to the office. So for Jarrett Smith, I am just John once again. Tomorrow morning, 9:05, we'll be back at it. We'll break this down. We'll break down the weekend that was in Major League Soccer, and we'll talk a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff was decided overseas as well, and whatever's on your mind. So 9:05 Eastern on the SDH Network, we will kick things off again for another week of Soccer's Morning Show. So for Jason, for Jarrett, I'm just Jon Nelson here saying one more time, Atlanta United wins at 5-0. Over Inter Miami 2. You're listening to Atlanta United 2 Soccer on the SDH Network. Play safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.